we're going to do our first skill, which is SIT. And the reason I'm spelling is because I'm really working with this puppy to let him believe that SIT means to do this particular action. So it's really important that I don't keep abusing it and saying the word while I'm talking to you guys. The first thing that you guys saw me do was to build faith in that motivation. So he believes that when I say yes, he gets his food. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use this food. The first idea is we want the dog to do the behavior on his own. Now we can't wait all day for that, so we're going to use this little magnet in my hand. It's called food. The dog loves food, he's motivated, he's ready to go. Look at him looking at me. Now is the perfect time for me to start training. Because I'm talking to you too much, you'll see him looking away, and you guys got to pay attention to that for your own dogs. Your dog is going to be into you, looking at you, and expecting that reward for his behavior. So what's our goal? To get the behavior, and then we're going to add all the words. So let's say he was walking around here and he's just following my hands. I'm going to lift it up and his booty is going to hit the mat, the ground here. And so, yes. And I'm just making him move into that position by using my hand. He hits the grass, yes. We're going to do this for about 50 times. Yes. Yes, you heard me right. 50 times. Reps are the secret. Hey, Draka. So I'm just moving him around, and when I lift it high on his nose, his butt will hit the ground, and I tell him YES. 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 And you can see there, he's a smart guy. He wants to look in the ground to get his food. We have to build that belief and that faith that everything comes from Daddy, everything comes from you guys, so that he does what you're asking before we add anything, any corrections and stuff. So right now, we're just luring his body into that position. The second stage that you want to do now is to start adding good whatever. So good sit. If he's doing a good sit, we say good sit when he does it, and then we give him that release. Don't forget, your release means job done. So I'm moving him around. Okay. Good sit. Yes. Okay. So we have to say that word, and that's what top level dog trainers call marking. We're going to mark that behavior with a word. So when he drops his booty, good sit. Yes. Remember, it's two different things. SIT is your command. That's what you want when you're running around in the garden and the dog's just doing its stuff, and you say SIT, he's going to behave. When you say YES, it lets him know the job is done. You can finish that behavior, you can get up, you can do whatever. So, for a more advanced dog, this SIT exercise is going to last a longer time. We're showing you from scratch how to build it with your puppy. So, a quick recap, your magnet. Mark it. Good sit and release. Yes. One more time. Good sit. Yes. The next stage is we're going to gradually move that hand away, because we've done so many reps with the SIT stuff that the dog knows that good SIT means his butt hits the ground, and he expects when you say SIT, his butt hits the ground, you're going to say YES, and that gives him his pay. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to mix it up, have a little fun, and then ask the word. Now here's a little secret. This is very important. The second his butt hits the ground and he does that exercise, good sit, yes, you must say YES and give him his pay, at least in the beginning stages, because if you don't pay him, he's just like you and me. If you and I did a job and we didn't get paid, would you be inclined to do that job over and over again? No. So make sure he's got faith in that word, in that exercise, that he does a good job. Good sit, yes. And you can see now he's really into me. So we're going to do it more in a motion exercise. Come in. Sit. Yes. And like we talked about, if a little bit of food drops, I'm going to pull him away from that, because he needs to learn he gets the food from me. So this is why we use a leash in the beginning training, so that we keep him in one spot. Sit. Very nice. Very nice. Now, very nice here is making him believe he's doing a good job, but he isn't getting paid until I say yes. So he's moving around, he's free, he's doing all kinds of stuff. Sit. Yes. Very nice. Sit. Yes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to proof it even more, because maybe he's responding to your word and your hand being in this spot all the time. Does he believe that SIT means SIT when your hands are like this? So what we're going to do is gradually add little movements like this. Sit. Yes. Notice I was facing him, now I'm at the side of him. So I changed my position. Sit. Yes. I'm even going to change my position, I'm going to run in place. Yes. Very nice. Sit. Yes. So there you see me changing my position a lot, moving around, but still using a consistent command, which is SIT. I get that response and I pay him right away. He's looking right now, he's asking, what do I do to get paid? So I'm going to tell him what to do to get paid. Sit. Yes. And here's the cool part about having that yes command, guys. The food's in my pocket. Dog's not beating me up to get my food. He really gets it, which is, and we're going to, just break him out of this position here. You can see, sit. He's going to remain there. He's going to keep his behavior. He's not following my hands. And when I say that command, which releases him, tells him he's going to get paid, then I can reach into my pocket and he's not beating me up for it. Yes. Now he can move, and now I can give him his pay. Okay, guys, try this out. Remember, you got a magnet, you got marking it with your word, and you got your release command. Gradually move your hand away. Take a look at our advanced videos, because we're going to show you this with more advanced dogs. Okay guys, our next position in our curriculum is stand. And this is a good one because it's a little tricky, because a lot of times the dog's already standing and it requires what we call timing. Timing is really important as a dog trainer. If you ask your dogs have very, their brain is different, their memory is different, they're not humans, so they have a different ability and retention than we do. If you don't mark it, like we talked in our last videos, where you get a behavior, you say a word which marks that behavior, lets the dog associate the behavior with the word. If you don't give a release command and pay him, look, yes, then if you don't do that in the right timing, like you saw my puppy looking at me and he's like begging me, hey, I'm looking at you, man, I'm doing the right behavior, why don't you pay me? Does that make sense? You want to pay him, at least in the early stages, consistently and well, so he believes that he's going to get paid. A lot of people have problems with their dogs coming to them, and they're like, well, every time I call my dog, he doesn't come. You ask them the question, when do you call your dog? And most of them answer, well, I call him out of the backyard when I got to go to the office. The dog knows what's happening next. Why would he come to you? There's no joy, there's no reward, there's no toy, there's no playing. You're just calling him when you're very rushed and flustered to go to the office. The dog knows this a million times. So what we have to build now is his belief in, if I do what is asked, I get that word, I get that release, and I get my payment. When we're doing stand, it's a little tricky because either he's walking and he's already in a stand position. So remember, basic rule of dog training, we want to get the behavior, then mark it. So we got to get him on all 4 feet. So easiest way is when he's walking. Come on, Papa. So he's walking, yes. And he stops for a second. It's easier if you have the leash. He's walking, he stops for a second. Yes. And look at his butt. You don't want it to hit the ground because then that's going to be SIT. He's walking. Come. Yes. And we get the behavior and we reward the behavior. Now, the next step is to mark the behavior. So, we get from normal stuff, he's just playing around. Good stay? Yes. And again, the German word for, the word we're using for him for stand is steh. It's just a word. You can say stand, you can say stand up, whatever you want. For me personally, I like short words that are not too drawn out, not too many syllables. And I also like words that sound very different. So, in German, the word to sit is sit, the word for down is Platz, and the word to stand is steh. None of them sound alike. In English, sit, stay, stand. They all sound very similar. So there's a little bit of room for error there. For me, for high-level competition, I want my dog to be totally clear. So we're going to mark the behavior with steh, which means stand. Come here, Papa. Steh. Good. Steh. Gotta watch that butt so that if it's hitting, see how it hits every time I lift the hand? That's a basic behavior from a puppy who's being fed a lot in his training. Good stay? Yes. So we have to wait until we get that behavior. Good stay? Yes. Now that we've gotten the behavior and we've marked the behavior and we release and we pay him for the behavior, now we're gonna add it in moving ourselves so that the dog gets conditioned to responding to just the word. Stay? Yes. Another trick to help is because he has to lift his belly, I use a light touch on his belly with my foot. Stay? Yes. And that helps him lift up his tummy. Good stay? Yes. Stay? 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 Yes. And you can see where he's kind of struggling there a little bit where he might want a SIT. And that's simply because he's at that stage where he was following, he was following the hand and stuff. So you have to learn that and you have to see what level your dog's at before we go on to the advanced stuff. So we'll mix it up. Get him out of that position. Make sure it's a true behavior. Good stay? Yes. Stay? Yes. Stay? Yes. And you see, I am changing my shape, I'm changing my body language, and I'm using one common verbal command, which is stay, which is getting him into that behavior. Stay? Yes. Stay? Yes. Super, man. Stay? Yes. And because I have such a good release command, the dog is not doing anything now. He knows that the yes is coming, so he's going to get his reward when after I say that yes, and he gets paid. So guys, remember, we're going to get the behavior by itself, just like this. Use the leash. Good. Yes. Second one is we're going to get the behavior, we're going to mark it with a verbal cue, which is the actual word for the command. So let's say we did this, and then we got him into good stay. Yes. And we marked it now. And then the next level is we're going to add the word, ask for it, because we've done it so many times by marking it, we can say, stay. Yes. Good stay. Stay. Yes. And then the next level is to prove it and make sure that the dog is doing the command on our word and not our body, is to move our body in different behavior, in different places, and then ask him for this command. Stay? Yes. Stay? But? Stay? Yes. But? But? Stay? Yes. And I'm doing this, mixing it up with the PLATZ because you guys can see now that he's not doing one thing over and over, and that's really important, that you have a little break so the dog gets a mental break. So after I do it, you'll hear me go and just be free, or mix it up so that he can go back to being a dog, and then he's receptive again for the command, the behavior, and then his release. Check it out, guys. Hope you have fun with this and you get great success. Hey guys, we're going to look at how to do down. Now, remember, dogs don't speak a language. The language that they speak is body language. They don't speak English, German, Czech. They don't speak any of those things. So, you can say anything to your dog consistently to build that response. Now, I'm training my little guy here in German. His parents are German. He's pretty much a German heritage dog. And I think it's cool to use those words. In our police sport competitions, I only use the language of German. But I've trained dogs in multiple languages. The idea is that whatever sound you make, if you said kaka kaka, and then the dog does something, then that's your command. Okay? If you said paha, then and he does something, that's his command. So the main idea is to be consistent with that word, decide what word you want to use, and only accept the behavior that you want. We talked about having a magnet, so we're going to get our magnet now and keep his interest. You can tell for the last couple of minutes of this video, he's been really looking at me. He's only 5 months old. He's asking, what should I do? Every now and then we lose a little focus. And quick reminder, as your own dog trainer, you guys want to make sure that you have him in a receptive way. right here, right now, I should get off of talking to you guys and start working my dog because he's really receptive right now. So let's get that magnet. And again, what do? We want to take that magnet and we want to position the dog in the place that we want. So we want DOWN. So we're going to get that SIT and we're going to drag the hand straight down, and that's our DOWN. You can see, yes. Something you're not going to see in the video is my hand is closed all the way until his elbows hit the ground. So he believes, look, there's nothing here. He believes there's something in here, and we're going to dupe him for a little bit. He thinks there's something here. We drive it down and we say, yes. And then we open the hand and release and give him that food. That way we can keep the magnet with some power, some magnetism, keep him moving, but he doesn't have to get the food. He only gets the food when we say YES, and he does his job. So we're going to do this, remember, magic number, 50 times at least. We're going to drag the food from his nose straight down to the ground. Super. Second stage of learning. As soon as he's doing it on his own without any words, we're going to add a word in there to mark it. My word is PLATZ. And this PLATZ means down. So I'm going to say the word when I get the behavior. Good Platz. Yes. So it's going to be his behavior, then the word to mark it, then the release, which is YES. One more time. We're going to make it free. We're going to get his behavior, good Platz, and then the release. Yes. The minute you start getting that and you start understanding that, that's where you're going to get your dog staying in a position, good Platz. Yes. Notice that he didn't go to the position, he stayed there. He was anticipating, and I said, good Platz. Yes. And I will remind him. And I will reinforce that behavior by giving him the food. But he's got to do the behavior first. In the old days, they would use a lot of force. And this is really not what we want to do. We want to make sure that this is a humane way, it's a fun way, and it's also a reliable way of getting that behavior. So, he's free. We're moving him with the magnet. We're doing all kinds of stuff. And we are going to get him in that position. Good Platz. Yes. And now you can see even this puppy here that, yes, he's done some more reps off camera. But what we're noticing now is that I can move my hand further and further away from his nose, and he's still doing the behavior. So the next stage would be to help him with your hand, but not lure him. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Right now we're luring him. We're moving our hands and we're moving him like a magnet. Later on we're just going to help him because we've done that luring exercise so much that now we can just say, Platz. Yes. So I just did a motion down with my hand, and for those of you who want non-verbal signals, like when we train SWAT teams and so forth, the dogs learn that's down because nobody wants to speak in a situation like that. So you can realize maybe you want to have hand signals and now you just leave it there. For our sport at a high level, we're not allowed to use body motions and double signals. So we want to build that exercise on the words or the verbal command only. But watch it again. We started magnet. Yes. We just went to the marking. Good Platz. Yes. And now we don't need the magnet. After a while, we're just going to use the helping. Good man. Platz. Yes. The next stage, as we did in our previous videos with sit and other positions, is to proof it so that the dog is not learning, is not relying only on the hand. So when I do this now, I don't want him to go down. I want him to go down when I say the word Platz. Yes. So the way to train that is to do every position with your body as possible, as humanly possible, so that you can mix it up and consistently use the word PLATZ or DOWN, whatever your word is. So he's free. Platz. Yes. Very nice. So you can see I delayed it there because people ask, what about stay? Stay is important, but for us, if I asked you to do a behavior, stay is included. Does that make sense? You guys want to realize that if I say PLATZ to him, like there was a squirrel running and there's a road over there, and I say Platz, I don't want to tell him STAY now. He's supposed to stay in PLATC. Do you see how he's following my hand? So what I need to do is to add that in my training. Pluts. Good pluts, good pluts, good pluts, 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 pluts. Yes. And I reinforce that when he does not move and I'm moving, that's exactly what we want. After all, isn't it what we want? We want to be able to say a word while we're doing something other than just looking at our dogs, and our dogs respond. Good pluts. Very nice. So guys, we're going to show you again in our advanced videos how we replace the food with toys and how we add a little correction and so forth to proof it. But right now, you have all the basic building blocks to get your dog to do that down position. I hope you guys enjoy. You guys asked for about heeling on leash. Now, for me, I know exactly what I mean when I say heeling on leash. It means that the dog walks at my left side. When I walk, he walks, and when I stop, he stops automatically and sits. So it's very important in any stuff that you're doing with your dog. Everybody has a dog, and everybody in their own way is a dog trainer, but everybody is not a very good dog trainer. So here's the deal. It starts with the picture you have in your own mind about what you're asking your dog to do. I have a very clear picture that my dog is like my left hand. And then when I walk, he walks with me, and when I stop, he will sit, like how this guy is in a sitting position. So we know the basics, and here's a recap. We want to get the behavior first, then we'll mark it with a word. When we get the behavior, we'll give a release for that behavior. So without words, we're going to get him to HEEL, and my word for that is FUS. Okay, so I'm going to say that eventually, and you guys will get it. What I'm going to do is the dog is in front of me, and I'm going to make him come around to my left leg. So we're going to start off here, and I get him to come to my left leg. That's the first step, and he's going to SIT here, but I'm not going to ask for it because he should be sitting when I stop. I'm going to make another step, and when I do it with my left leg, I'll say FUS or heel and get him to come to that position. So now what I'm teaching the dog is not only do I want him on my left side, but I want him to move when I move and to sit when I stop. So look at it again. I'm going to bring him around so just for the camera so you guys could see it. Come, Papa. And there you have it. The step is 2 motions. One more time. We're going to get him to my left leg. I'm going to do it just for fun on my right side so you guys see. I actually have a different command for him to go to my right side, but it's still healing. So he goes to my right leg, and then I make another step with my right leg, and when I stop, he should sit. And how do I make him sit? You did it already because you lifted it up. You lifted up the food, his butt dropped to the ground, and that's how you made sit. So healing is get to one side of my body, don't cross in front of me when I'm walking the street, and you stay with me, and when you do that, when I stop, you stop. So one more time, we're going to find that leg and get to that side. Yes. And it's very easy to just give him that food. Don't forget, we want to release. We want to give him that YES. We want to tell him he did a good job. One more time. So now we're going to mark that behavior. We're going to say FUS while he's doing it, as he's completing that behavior, or good FUS or good heel, just to get him to believe and to know and to mark so that he understands what that word means. Yes. Now everybody asks about the leash, but if you look very carefully, I'm building this behavior almost without the leash. The leash is there, but the dog is being lured and motivated so well that he doesn't need a leash to hold him back. You guys can't see it right now, but we got a whole camera crew. There's a bunch of people here, and the dog may want to go by everybody else. However, because I got the food, I'm daddy, I'm full of love, excitement, and all the good stuff, my dog wants to stay with me. So what's happening is the leash is just helping him get there. So second stage, we mark that behavior. Third stage is we want to give the command and then give help. We don't need to use a magnet so much now. We want to give him some help. Come here, Papa. Let's. Puss. Puss. Yes. So it's hard for you to see it from his angle, but this is all I did. I said heel, and I did this with my hand to let him know, get to the side of my leg. And then I just kept my hand here, and he's seeing it as we walk, and we get to a little place as we walk 2 steps. Okay? Believe me, this little move, if you do it 50 times, a couple times a week, in a month's time, you'll be having your dog walking at your side, and he's looking for his reward. He's consistent, he's correct, and he's happy to do it. So, check it out again. Puss. Puss. One more step, just for you. Puss. Yes. So, at this stage, he's using my hand as an indication, as a help, as a little bit of something extra, and I'm helping to lure him into that position. Now, what we're going to do is make my help less and less. So the dog is in front of me or to the side of me, and I'm going to make my help less and less. Come here, Papa. Puss. He needs more help. Did you see that? It's too advanced. So we have to help even a little bit. Puss. Very nice. Puss. Yes. So even though your dog may not be fully proofed yet, what you have to recognize is where do they need the help. I mean, at the end there, it was a really nice, intense healing position. But we almost lost it because if you ask for him to do too much too soon, you may lose it. Just got to go backwards and help reinforce. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take it from different positions, and I'm going to show you, camera permitting, 3 or 4 steps, and he's healing on the leash. Puss. When I stop, he stops. Yes. One more time. He's with me. Puss. I'm not really using the leash, if you guys notice. The leash is there, but my hands are free. He's not SIT yet, so I'll help him. Puss. Yes. 50 times a day. This is a 5-month-old puppy. You guys will have success, and just like we're having success if you keep at it. Keep posting your comments. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you. So guys, we're going to do our off-leash healing, and again, we have some motivation and we have correction. My dog knows that she likes this toy, and she knows that when I say YES, she's going to get it. At this advanced stage, what we want to do, even if it's without the leash, we want to have some level of control. So she's got a collar on. I'm going to hide the toy, but she knows I have it, but it's out of sight. So she can work around it, she can work without it in sight, but the main idea now is that we're giving her a job without the reward inside. Maybe you go for a walk in a park, maybe you have to heal across your neighborhood. You don't want to have to give your dog a reward on every step. So this is our advanced stage. Again, get her ready. So just like that healing, we want her to believe that my left side is where she will stay. Okay? So when I move, she moves. Again, if you find that your dog is losing, giving a little distraction, you want to create that motivation, create that belief. This is really interesting because she's been trained so well, she can work around what she wants so badly. Puss! Puss! And there was her self-correction. She got a little flustered, she went in front of me, and she self-corrected. When it's good, I'm going to give a reward. But at this stage, because we've done so many reps with the food, the dog is now in a position that she doesn't need the reward every rep, and you don't need to be giving it in every rep. So, again, again, we're going to create drive. Look. Yes. Nah. Come on. So this is what she wants. This is how she's working. Us. Put. Push. And again, when I say that heel word, she should be on my left side. Even if I'm twisting, I'm turning. Hiya. 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 Okay. Okay. Push. Very nice. And then she stays on that left side and an automatic SIT. If you've done all the basics and you've built it with food, the dog already knows the steps. Now all we're trying to do is to create a behavior and a delayed payment. So now what you'll hear me say is, very nice, which means you're doing a good job, but you're not going to get paid yet. The payment's coming, it's coming, but it's not for you just yet. Let's dip, put. Very nice. You can see even a little cheat there. Even though she's an advanced dog, she cheated. She gave him a little bump. She said, hey, I really want my payment. And what I said was, hey, you're a dog, I'm a human. That's really good. You're doing a great job, but you ain't going to get paid yet. Now, because the focus is so nice and everything's great, look. Who's... When this is good, you can add a different speed. Now, I'm going to try to keep it short so you guys see, but I'm going to do it this way and the other way so you'll see. I'm going to change speeds. The dog must stay on your left side because that's what heeling is. So, you're going to get a shot of me going away and I'm going to go a little fast and a little slow. Push. Push. And the automatic sit. I think she's done a good job. She should get paid. Yes. Okay guys, don't forget, build it with the basics, then proof it with your body language and your different movements. Add higher levels of motivation and make sure she gets it. Lots of work, lots of success for you guys. Good luck. Seen us building motivation with the food. Now here's a more advanced dog. We're building motivation with the toy. She really likes this toy. She needs to believe that when I give her her release command or job well done command, that she's going to get her toy. You notice she's biting it now. She's also cross-trained in police sports. So it means that she needs to be comfortable with biting and then not biting when I ask. But back to motivation. I'm going to use the toy, which usually creates higher levels of motivation than the food. Now that this dog has gone through the basics and she knows how to heel on the leash, how to do all the stuff, we're doing off-leash work. We still have a collar on so she remembers that there's some control, but we are building motivation. I've been talking to you, but look at what my body's doing. She's still pulling at me. She's still working with me. She still thinks it's a great game of tug of war. I'm not ignoring my dog. As you can see, she's willing with that motivation. So, building that motivation, you got to make sure that your dog gets it and believes. Come here. Let's. Us. Super. With the house. Now that she loves it, now that she wants it, we make her believe on that word, which is that release word. Not motion, not movement, the word. Yes. Yes. So all she's doing is the same thing like that little guy, that puppy was getting a lot of food every time I said yes. She's getting the toy or the fighting, which she loves a lot. And in this game, we can add different stuff once your dog knows it. Let's. So now we're gonna go on to the advanced stuff, but I wanted to give you guys this little extra bonus, which is the dog must be in drive, which you know, but now the drive is for a toy that she likes, and she's getting that belief that when I say YES, not before, not during, not after, as you can see, it's only when I say YES does she get her command. We're gonna close off now, but I'm gonna give my dog my reward. Don't forget to do that for yours. Yes. Okay guys, here is the secret in a nutshell. If my dog is in a down and I say, good plus, and I reinforce that. She's in a position that I want. I reinforce what I want, and I correct or I reduce what I don't want. Basic manners is really about that. So for instance, right now she's sniffing the floor. I have a and that means you shouldn't be doing that. Also, another way to do it is having a distraction or changing her behavior. Yeah. So instead of sniffing the grass and going out of hand, I'm creating something here, and I'm keeping her drive and I'm keeping her attention right now. If I start losing attention, maybe I use a little physical something to get her back, maybe the collar, or maybe even show her what she wants. Either show them what they don't want or show them what they do want, and it helps you to build basic behavior. In terms of manners, the dog is jumping on you and you don't want it. Reward the dog for not jumping on you. So for instance, my dog doesn't jump on me here, but another way to do it is to give the dog an outlet, teaching her other ways and other things to do. So for instance, if I want to sit here and talk to you guys, I can reinforce this behavior. Now she wants to play. You can see that she's trying to play with me, she's trying to play around. I don't reinforce it. And if I need to, I can change the position, add a little help, keeping her rewarded and calm in this position, instead of telling her over and over and creating training in that bad situation. Let me explain a little bit more. The dog jumps up one time and you say, don't jump like exactly like this, and you say, no, don't do that to me, no, don't do that to me. You're effectively training the dog to do it if she hasn't changed her behavior. I'll say this again. If the dog hasn't changed the behavior and you keep saying that word, what you're doing is marking the wrong behavior. You got to get that, because that's really important. After a while, most people have trained their dogs to jump up on them by saying no, or trained their dogs to eat off of the table by saying something else. The dog really has no respect for the word no, because we never taught it anything else. One of the major things I learned from a really great dog trainer in the Netherlands is distraction is better than correction. So you notice I'm talking to you now, and I distracted instead of leaving my dog there for her to frolic on her own and eat the grass and so on. One way to get her in a better behavior was to keep her attention. Now that I have her attention, I can extend that good behavior and ask her to do something like that. And now she's in this position. Now she gets accustomed to me being here, talking and so on. My dogs get accustomed to it because of all the videos that I shoot. But your dogs need to get accustomed to your general behavior so that your dog has good manners. Do you want your dog sniffing the grass while you're shooting a video? If the answer is no, add a correction. No. Good plus. There we have it. It's not a perfect dog. I'm not lying to you guys on video. This dog is in training, and you can see the reason she's going after it is probably because when we did the food work, there's food there. No. Good plus. And now we can build that. The same way we say, this is good, here's your reward. We also need to say, this is bad, here's your other reward. I'm going to show you in part 2 of this video how we teach other things like tricks. So for instance, my dog likes to jump on me. Instead of me saying, absolutely not, what I've done with my little puppy is I gave him an opportunity to jump on me. Because honestly, there are times where I want my dog to jump up, when he's clean of course. I want him to jump up and I give him a treat and I give him a hug. Or maybe we take him to do a demo at some school and some kid wants to give him a hug, so he's got a trick. He jumps up and he gives you a hug and a kiss. Only when I say it. So what I have done there, and what you guys can do, is to channel bad behavior. Instead of absolutely no jumping, give him a chance where jumping is correct. Now you can see, because I haven't left her alone, because I'm working with her and I'm reward. This in itself is a reward. This is contact. She's leaning on me. You can't see it in the camera, but she's really holding on and really liking that contact. So now, the manners and the behavior that I want, I'm reinforcing. The behavior I don't want, I'm cutting it out. I can't, unless I come to your home, decide on every actual manners behavior that you need. But what you can do is ask yourself a simple question. Do I want this? The answer is no. You correct it and you make it as little as possible. And if the answer is yes, you reward it and promote it as much as possible. especially with high drive dogs like what we deal with for police and military and so on. They need an outlet. So giving them an outlet is a good idea. I'll give you an example of one of the tricks we do. I hope she does it and doesn't embarrass me. But the tricks in the game here help her to channel her energy. Ready, mama? Let's play. Ready, mama? Hey. Super. Woo! Lux. Oche. 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 Yeah. Oche. Oche. Super. Oche. Super. Clock. 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 Lux. Yes. Yes. Lux. Now, it's funny because with such high energy, that alone could buy me another hour of good behavior. That by itself, I just burned it out. I gave her some stimulation, and now look at her behavior. She's completely calm. She's in a different focused position, and I have a better relationship with my dog. Remember, correction is not the first thing we go to. We go to distraction, and we go to help, and we go to even promoting what we want instead of just denying what we don't want. Good manners is all about building that behavior. If I built PLATZ, good Lux, and that's the way I built it, it's no jumping on me. If I taught her to come near to me and come right up to my tummy and not touch me or not jump up to me, then I don't have a jumping dog problem. As you can see, she's not jumping up on me. Again, if we taught her the release command, then she's not stealing her toy. She's not trying to cheat and go after the toy. But she knows that the toy is not available until there's a YES command, until there's a release command. And this is a great game for you to play because, as you can see, it's a difficult game. This is what she wants most in the world with a zit. And we're teaching her that it doesn't make sense to go after. Doesn't make sense. Is that a behavior I want? Absolutely no. So I keep reinforcing that the behavior I want, is to sit there and not get the toy until we ask her to get the release. Will it be completely unfair not to release the dog now? Absolutely. And then what we'll have is a boring dog that doesn't believe me. So I must give her a reward for good behavior. And for me personally, I will not reward her when the toy is moving. That's when I don't want her to go after the toy. Make sense? I want her to go after the toy on my terms when I'm perfectly ready. Yes! And that's how we reinforce what we want and we minimize what we don't want. Hope this helps you guys get better mannered dogs. Okay guys, so we want to do exercises in motion, which means while you and the dog are moving or moving around, you want your dog to do that motion. So it means SIT, DOWN, STAND, all of these things are motion exercises that while the dog is moving, like regular life, while you're walking on the street, you want them to go down in this spot, you want to walk over and shake your buddy's hand and play with the baby and talk about stuff, carry your groceries. You don't want your dog up in your business. So what you need is to build your basic exercises with you moving. So for instance, we're going to do this. Very nice. What? Very nice. Stick. Stick. Very nice. Yup. Yup. What? What? So what you're having now is that the dog is responding while you are moving. Once you have that 50 times, then what you're trying to do is to add it into the actual exercise. It makes no difference to the dog's point of view when you do walking 50 paces or standing at the side and walking 50 paces from here. Zip. So I can be here, and I can be healing a little bit. And I can be healing just a little bit. And I give that motion. The dog does not care if I was walking 50 steps or not. The dog sees a picture of me moving. I'm going to back off and give you guys a different look. And you can see how we'll do. The first one is our sit in motion. Here's how it looks. Put. And there you can see that the dog is responding to a command while I'm moving. I turn around, I'm moving my hands. I did not say S-T-A-Y because S-I-T is S-I-T, and that's what she's doing. I'm going to do it one more time for my own training, and immediately when she hits the butt on the ground, you're going to hear me give her payment, okay? So it's going to look like this. Hoot. Sit. Yes. Yes. That's. Yes. So she got paid for doing the exercise that she knows, but now we're adding basic movements and getting the handler or the owner to add his body mechanics. The dog must respond to the word SIT. So, hope you guys like that. Now we're going to add the down command. Awesome. And for prep for our sport and a higher level competition, I like to play the game and add the command in the game before I do the motion exercise. Kind of like this. Yes. Yes. Lots. Awesome. So now she's ready, she's concentrated, she's motivated, and we're going to get it done. Hoots. Hoots. Cut. You can see here that the dog is moving on the wood, not my body mechanics. One more time, as soon as she does it in motion, I give a release. Hoots. 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 Yes. Woo. So there you have it. It's all built from the basics that you start moving your body when you give that command, because from the beginning you don't want to move your body in one way to teach the dog that that's the only acceptable way to do the command. Yeah. Let's. Us. Us. So for our last command in motion, it's the standing in motion. And again, when I say yes and I give the freedom, the dog really is free. It's not a robot. So it's great in your training to give a little break. You do the work, you take a break, you get paid for doing the work, you take a little break, you enjoy it, you're back motivated, you're ready to go. Yeah. So it all depends on how you built it. If we built the standing in this position, yes. If we build the standing, very nice, very nice, very nice. If we build this position by moving our body while we were building it, that's very nice. Then the dog has a feeling that my body has nothing to do, my movement has nothing to do with the command. So let's try to get it in our motion. Hoots. As you can see, there's a stand while we're moving. Now we're going to reward it a little bit faster, and I'd like to get it a little bit straighter. Hoot. Hoot. Okay. Wow, very nice. And we must pay. Yes. Yes. Woo. Yes. Okay guys, there are your basic motions, exercises and motions. Remember, build your basic exercises like if they were advanced. Don't wait to get to this stage before you do so. And hopefully you'll have crisp motions and exercises just like this. Guys, because this dog has been trained in bite work and police force, the desire to bite, especially what she loves the most, the arm, is so high that I think that this is the best video that you could see of a dog under distraction. People are going to show you things about dogs with people calling their name and throwing food and stuff. Right now, that desire to bite and to fight is so high, it's higher than anything else. If I can get my dog to listen to me when she's under stress, when she's very aroused and stimulated and going towards this guy, then she's really doing well. We've added the pinch collar here because what this does is it adds as a little tackle, a little bit where it applies some pressure to let her know I'm doing a good job or I'm not doing a good job. This is not abuse or unfair. I'm going to do this now so you guys see what kind of drive she is in. What I mean is how motivated she is against the bad guy right now. Right now, I haven't given any commands, and you can see it's barely getting her attention with me doing that. She's very interested in that guy. I'm going to, what they call in police work, turn her on now, which means I'm going to make her very excited and aggressive so that she thinks she's going to bite the guy. We're going to ask her to do a bunch of different things, and here's the distraction. That's the distraction. I'm going to ask her to SIT, to lie down, to come back to me, to heel around me while he's tapping and making a lot of noise, and even to bark at him without touching his arm, exercising complete control under distraction. So, just like we did with food, if you remember, we built that desire, that belief she's going to get the food. We did it with the toy. Now we're going to do it with the bad guy. So I'm going to ask my bad guy to, when I hold my dog, he's going to move a little bit. I'm going to make her really excited, then he's going to stop moving, and we'll start the show from there. Hope you guys enjoy it. Pay attention to how we correct and how we reward the dog under distraction. Okay, bad guy, you ready?
Yep.
Move around a little bit. Woo! Now stand still and just hide. Perfect. And bend it down a little bit. Perfect. Put it in. Fine. Good review. So here we have the desire to bite the dog, to bite the bad guy really, really strong. But she's barking because that's her job. Now we're going to add different things. Here, Boots. So this is called a call out, meaning she comes back to me. Now because my dog did such a good job, I want to reward her, and this is very important. The distractions are so much that I need to give her payment. So I'm going to say, help her come to me and give my dog a bite. Just walk up to us and I will do it. Good sit. Very nice, mama. And so she gets to bite him, and that's her reward. And just for simplicity, I'm just keeping her a little steady because we don't want to really take him to the ground right now. We're going to do that in our other advanced bite work DVDs. But right now you can see that biting is a reward for her. I'm going to let him pull her into him a little bit, and I'm going to try to do this without any force to see if my dog is working. Very nice. Let's zit. Push. Push. Very nice. Push. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to keep moving, but my partner's been instructed to hold the toy or the arm or the protection just in a way where I can release her from a far distance and she's going to run in and launch and bite him. But that's the distraction. This is the behavior. So when I say that heel word, I'm going to ask my partner tapping on the sleeve so that he gives her a distraction. It looks like this. Push! And she'll add the distractions anytime now. Woo. There you go. He makes loud noise. All I'm doing is trying to keep her. When she listens to me and she does a good job, then we're really proving her against the distraction. I'm going to tell my partner, hold the sleeve ready because she's doing such a good job. I'd like to just release her whenever I can. So you guys, I hope I stay in the camera, but what you're going to see is that she's doing such a good job. And now she gets the release. Super! Come on here, mama. Hush. Very nice. Hush. Super. And again, control under distraction. The house. Flux. Flux. And I can start the game again. Start building faith and confidence that the dog is doing a good job. We're going to do a quick recap. You'll see it all again, but I won't talk this time. It'll be barking. It'll be come to me, it'll be lay down, stand up, do all that sort of stuff, heel away, and at the end of all of it, she gets a reward. Remember, she doesn't get paid for her job. Who wants to do that job? Even if it takes a year, you gotta pay them after they do the job. Alright, so, you just, regular position, I'm gonna send for barking. Rivet! Now, rivet! Very nice, mama. Super, mama. Give us. So now we do other tricks. Hoots. Let's. Zip. Hoots. We ask the partner to add distraction.
Woo!
Ow! And when I think it's good,
Woo!
then I'll ask him to get it ready because I'm going to give that release pretty soon. Once she's looking at, again, she's in that position. Now she's looking at him. When I say that heel command, she should be looking at me. As soon as she looks at me, because it's so nice with that timing, she wins. Hoots! Super! And I will take the toy at the end, and just so that again for safety, because as I said, we'll cover this in our other DVDs, but right now she wins, and it's just a toy. It's just her highest level of reward for working under those distractions. You guys try it out.